morning, guys. I'm really excited about today and honestly really nervous about today, but let's just get to it. I think you guys already know what this is about. It should be in the title, but today I'm going to be doing a 24-hour reading marathon. There's lots of these that are held like around the world virtually and in person, but I'm just kind of doing my own at my apartment. Not really doing anything under like an organization per se, just because I thought it'd be fun and it'd be, I don't know, just a interesting challenge to say like, yeah, I did it, I read for 24 hours. So yeah, let's explain kind of the rules of this. So basically there are a lot of people that do allow like naps or sleeping. I, for my challenge, am going to stay up for the full 24 hours, hopefully. I'm gonna drink a lot of caffeine and hopefully make it through the whole thing. If I do end up kind of sleeping, I think I'm gonna be okay with that, but for right now, I want to stay up for the full 24 hours reading. And I haven't really set a book goal or a page goal. I just really want to read as much as I can in the 24 hours. So I'm going to show you guys my book stack that I'm going to plan on reading, and yeah, we'll just see how this goes. So the first thing that I'm reading is a little bit terrifying for me, just because it's a hefty book. Like it's a big guy, you know. It's The Way of Kings. I've already started reading it. I'm currently reading it right now. So I want to try to get as much of this done as I possibly can, but if I get like overwhelmed or bored or just need, you know, something new for a minute, I have some other books prepped just because I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish that in the full 24 hours, but who knows? Might surprise myself, right? I also have the Unhoneymooners. My friend recommended this to me, and I've seen a lot of people really love this. So it's supposed to be kind of like a nice, I think, funny romance, rom-com type thing. I might be wrong, but I think this will be kind of like a fun read for me. I also have a very short read that might not be as fun, but it's A Grief Observed by C.S. Lewis. Super short book. I'm pretty sure I can get this done pretty quickly. But again, just kind of like a little break book if I need it. I really wanted to start this book today, A Court of Thorns and Roses. Obviously, I'm super late on Sarah J. Maas, but I'm excited to start this book. I've heard super amazing things about the author and about what she writes, so really excited to start this. And I also have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I might be saying that completely wrong. I've only read it in my head. You know when that happens? I've also heard really great things about this. So that's kind of my stack. It might change depending on my mood, and I have like a full bookcase behind me of books that I have and have not read before. So we're just gonna kind of see where the day goes, but yeah, I'm really excited to get started. And right now it is 12, so I will be ending at 12 on a Thursday. I'll be ending tomorrow 12 p.m. on Friday. So yeah, I'm excited, nervous. We'll see how this goes. Alright, I am 2 hours into my 24-hour reading challenge, and I got to part 2 of The Way of Kings, but I am going to take a bit of a break since I'm kind of at a stopping point. I've been reading about like 48 pages an hour, so I've read 96 pages of this book, but let's try to lift this up so you can see it. Like, the pages are like really intense. Like, it's not like a normal book. Like, these are very small margins, so I'm thinking I can get a lot done if I switch over to another book for a little bit. So the first one I'm going to read is A Grief Observed by C.S. Lewis. He wrote this after his wife passed away. super short book. I'm pretty sure I can finish this pretty quickly, and then I might move on to one of my other books for a little bit before I switch back over to The Way of Kings. But yeah, it's going well so far. I've just been snacking on some goldfish and reading, and it's been great. Milo's over my reading. Are you done? Hi guys, I'm officially 4 hours into the challenge, and it is already starting to get dark outside, which is nerve-wracking. Gotta love winter. So the majority of my 24 hours will probably be in the dark, which is just unfortunate. But I wanted to get on because I just finished my first book, A Grief Observed by C.S. Lewis. I would honestly give this 4.5 stars right now, but it's a really, really great book. Basically, it's a tale of grief that C.S. Lewis went through after his wife passed away from cancer. And I think it's a really interesting take on grief because they weren't necessarily married for very long. He married her knowing that she had cancer and that she didn't have super long to live. And so I just think it's a really interesting take on grief, and also grief from somebody who is extremely religious. He kind of goes through a very strong moment of just like not believing in God at all, or believing in maybe just a bad God, a God that's willing to inflict pain on people. So it's just a really, really interesting read. I definitely recommend reading it, but I'll give more of a detailed review on my Instagram, just because my brain's foggy and I can't like really sit down and think about things. But as of right now, I really recommend it. So yeah, but now I'm going through a little bit of a crisis. I'm debating whether or not to start a new book, which I think I'm gonna do The Unhoneymooners because it's like a romance, and I'm already having a fantasy. The Way of Kings is like my big fantasy read, so I think I'm gonna stick with like a romance because it's different enough for me to be interesting. So I'm debating on whether starting The Unhoneymooners or continuing with The Way of Kings, the second part. But either way, I'm taking a bit of a break because my eyes are just getting drowsy, to kind of get some food, refresh, before I sit down and read. But I did ask my Instagram that question, what they would rather me read next. So if you want to be part of things like this again, I would definitely follow my Instagram because that's where I'm going to be posting all of like the live updates of my life. So yeah, I'll see what you guys have to say and then we'll get back to reading. So y'all chose The Unhoneymooners for me to read, which I'm glad, honestly. I think I was leaning more towards that anyways. But I'm gonna go grab a chai tea latte from Starbucks because I'm just tired and I need some extra caffeine, and it'll be nice to take a walk. Let's go get some caffeine. I know you want pets, but I'm gonna read. I'm gonna read. All right. I think I'm gonna progressively look more disheveled throughout the night, but it's midnight and I just finished book 2 of my 24-hour reading challenge, The Unhoneymooners. I love this book. I'm a huge fan of just like cheesy romances. I guess it's a guilty pleasure of mine, but I absolutely love them, and this one was great. It kept me intrigued, like invested the whole time. I really, really loved it. So if you guys are into cheesy romance novels, this this is definitely the book for you. And I like flew through it. It was, I think, like two and a half hours that I read this. So yeah, definitely like flew through this book. It was just really fun and playful. But now I'm gonna go back to what I started off with, The Way of Kings, and kind of jump back into that giant novel for a little bit. And we'll see if I switch off or if I just keep reading that for the rest of the night. All right, I'm gonna talk quietly because Mac just went to bed. It's 1 o'clock in the morning now. What? I think I've decided that I am not gonna be able to read this book at this time because it's just a little too slow right now in the plot. It's a really good book and I really love it. But there's a lot of world building happening right now, and a lot of like politics world building, and I'm gonna fall asleep if I keep reading it. So I'm gonna switch books, but before I do that, I'm gonna take a shower to wake myself up a little bit. And yeah, we'll see if I can stay up. I am so tired right now, guys. Like, my eyes can't even stay open. It's okay, we got this, we got this, we got this. Taking the shower was the right call. I feel a lot more awake and ready to go. I decided I am gonna switch books to A Court of Thorns and Roses. I've heard lots of great things about this book and this author, and I'm super excited to read it. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. All right, I'm looking a little rough, but it's daytime. We made it through the night, and I finished A Court of Thorns and Roses. I can't read anymore, apparently. Absolutely incredible. I loved this book. There's like one part that was a little cheesy that I was like, did that really need to be in there? But otherwise, it was absolutely incredible. The world building was super cool. I really love the characters. I was just like hooked the minute I dove in, which if a book can keep you up all night long, I think it's just a good book, you know that it's good because it literally kept me up all night long. I'm gonna write a full review on my Bookstagram a little bit later, but I just highly recommend reading this book. It's I'm in love with it. I cannot wait to read more from Sarah J. Maas now. I'm like obsessed. Anywho, Mac has gone to get us some caffeine so I can stay awake for my last 5 hours. We're gonna see if I can read one more book, and if not, that's okay. I've already reached 1,000 pages read, which is crazy. I'm just feeling honestly super proud of myself already, so we got this. We got 5 more hours to go. I'm super pumped. But yeah, I can't wait to take a very well-deserved nap at the end of this. It's just tails going crazy. Alright, so I'm officially done with the 24-hour reading challenge. We did it! We made it! It's 1 o'clock on Friday, and yeah, I am super tired, but I wanted to kind of talk about kind of like the stats and all the things. So I read, I know it's over 1,000 pages. I think the exact number is like 1,200 pages, something like that. So like pretty crazy. I feel like I had a pretty good pace the whole time, especially since I took some like longer breaks last night to like eat and like wake up and stuff like that. but I wanted to show you the books I finished and how long it took me to finish them. And I think what was my favorite book, which I'm pretty sure you guys already know at this point. But A Grief Observed was my first book. It took me less than an hour to finish. I mean, it's super, super tiny. If anything, it just took me longer because it's a more serious topic. It took longer for my brain to like interpret what was happening. But I really liked it. I don't think it's a book for everybody. I think you just have to be in a specific circumstance, whether it's in a religion that deals with life after death, and if you're going through a period of grief, I think it'll make a lot more sense to you. I'm dealing with kind of a bunch of things with my faith right now, and so I really liked it, but I think it kind of just depends on where you're at and where your mind is at when you read it. So it's kind of, I don't know, take that with a grain of salt as you will. But the next book I finished was The Honeymooners. I finished this in I think about 3 hours. Loved it, super, super fun and light. Yeah. And then we finished A Court of Thorns and Roses, which was my favorite book of the 24 hours. I'm really excited to go ahead and buy some more books from her and from the series, so I can start reading more in this world. And then I also did partially read both of these books. I'm almost halfway on The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I know I've been mispronouncing that the entire time, which is so embarrassing because I've taken 6 years of French. It just, in my head, because it was all capital in the book, did not register as LaRue until I started reading. So that's just kind of unfortunate, but you know, I bet you guys were just like, come on, really? Like the whole video, but whatever, it is what it is. And then this book I got done with part 1. There's still quite a bit to go, but this whole book's about 1,000 pages and I knew I probably wasn't gonna end up finishing it unless I didn't want to read anything else. So I'm kind of glad I went with the choice that I did to just read a bunch of other books, because it made a lot more fun and it allowed me to actually like stay awake and enjoy what I was doing. I'm really glad you guys came along with me on the journey. If you guys want to do your own 24-hour challenge, please let me know. I'd love to see it. I just think it was really, really fun. I highly recommend setting like a little period of like nap time, because by the end, like I probably could have finished this book because I had 4 hours or 5 hours by the time I started it, but I could not focus. I was so sleepy in the last couple hours, and it was just really, really hard to read, even though it's I really, really love it so far. I was just a little bit falling asleep just because I'd been up for so long. So maybe plan on taking a nap, but if you want to go for it, do it. I don't know, I support. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm wanting to do some more book videos very soon, so let me know if you guys like this. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.